Happy Saturday, Colts Nation. Hope you guys are doing well. We have a lot to talk about in this game preview. I want to give you guys an injury update, some roster move updates. This was the exact update I was waiting for, and we got it right around noon from the Colts. And as we expected, Trey Sermon was signed to the 53-man roster. And the running back that got released to make room for Trey Sermon was Deion Jackson, which means Jake Funk still on the roster, but Deion Jackson has been released by the Colts today. And then the Colts also elevated guard Ike Bodeger and wide receiver Juwan Winfrey, as we expect to happen pretty much every week unless we get a new wide receiver in the building. So this is a massive move, bringing Trey Sermon up, and this is very important, right? I was waiting for this news right here so that I could do the game preview because the weather for the upcoming game. If you're not on Twitter, if you haven't been following along, Warren Sharp has been detailing the weather that's supposed to happen this weekend. It's supposed to be a monsoon happening. There's a tropical storm hitting the northeast of the United States this weekend, and it's supposed to be raining all day long in Baltimore. So having Trey Sermon there going to be very important, right? He's probably not going to get a bunch of reps, but he's going to get enough reps to matter in this game because there's going to be a lot of running by both sides of the ball. Okay, now I'd like to go over the final injury report. I gave you guys an update yesterday on what was likely going to be the outcome of the injury situation, but the final injury designations are as follows. Ryan Kelly and Quentin Nelson are both out with their concussions. Quentin Nelson was a full participant in practice on Friday. He's questionable, but we can expect Quentin Nelson probably to be a go. Kenny Moore was a limited participant on Wednesday and Friday and is questionable going into the game. And with it being sloppy conditions and probably going to be a lot of running in this game, I could honestly see a situation where Kenny Moore doesn't play. And depending on what's going on with that knee, you might go ahead and hold him out, right? We're going to need him all year. So I could see a world where Kenny Moore doesn't play. Then you have Grover Stewart. Grover Stewart was a full participant in practice. We never expected him to be out. He does not have a designation going into the game. But Dallas Flowers was added on Friday to the injury report with an ankle injury, and he's questionable going into the game. So this is another one we could see Dallas Flowers sit out the game. Now, he's our return guy, but I don't know if that really matters with the new NFL kickoff rules. Everybody's either fair catching or letting it, be a touchback. So I don't know if, from that aspect, it's really going to matter. But we could see a situation where the Colts are down the top two corners, which a lot of people would kind of probably be okay with, right? We'd hope to have Kenny Moore there, but people are wanting to see these young guys get in the lineup. So this could be an opportunity for Juju Brents to step up into the lineup, right? OBJ is going to be out. He's not going to have to cover him. So it'd be an easier matchup for Juju Brents. Zay Flowers does a lot of his work out of the slot. That's where Kenny Moore would normally be. It'd be interesting to see who slots in there. I'd wonder if it'd be Nick Cross. We know Nick Cross can play both the safety positions, but he was also taking those slot corner reps in training camp. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend. Going to be paying very close attention to that. And that's the way I'm going to go into this game preview, I'm going to assume that Dallas Flowers is out. I'm going to assume that Kenny Moore is out. Okay, and I'm going to assume Juju Brents and Nick Cross are playing in their spots. And as I'm just sitting here now, I just got a notification from ESPN said that Anthony Richardson is optimistic that he'll be able to play in week 4, assuming he gets through the protocol. But he feels good. He feels like he is going to be ready to go for week 4. So we will have Anthony Richardson back when the Colts go back home for week 4 against the Rams. Okay, but now for the full injury report for the Ravens, I already mentioned Odell Beckham Jr. is out. Jadeveon Clowney, Devin Duvernay are good to go. But then everybody else on their injury report, everybody we've talked about this week is out. Okay, Justice Hill, out. Marlon Humphrey, we knew he was going to be out. Tyler Lindenbaum, Odafe Owe, Ronnie Stanley, all out. Those are massive pieces for the Ravens that are out of this game, which is why I think this bodes really well for the Colts coming into this game. Okay, Marcus Williams, torn pec. He'll be out for most of the season, if not the entire season. So he's obviously also going to be out. That's a lot of guys out for them. We're missing our starting center and we're missing our starting quarterback, right? But we have a starting quarterback as a backup. So we're good from that situation. And this weekend, it's not like we're going to be relying on Gardner Minshew's arm. Okay, because again, it's going to be monsoon conditions. That's what everybody's expecting is monsoon conditions. The wind's going to be crazy. The rain's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of running in this game, and whoever can do the running better is going to win this game. Okay, so when we talk about keys to victory, running the ball on offense is number one. Okay, and this is not the Ravens offense of old. This isn't Greg Roman's offense anymore. Okay, they're still doing a lot of the stuff that they were doing in Greg Roman's offense, right? They're easing in to this new system, but through the first 2 weeks, if you go back and watch the Ravens games, you can see the new stuff that they're doing, right? And they did more of it in week 2 than week 1. So the Ravens, it's the Ravens. They're going to have success, right? They have Lamar Jackson. They're going to have success running the football, but the Colts defense is leading the league in rush yards per attempt this season at 2.6. Okay, 2.6. And that's including week 1 when Travis Etienne, there were a lot of times where Travis Etienne was breaking off, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards on back-to-back plays at different times, right? A lot of that was in the first half. And then in the second half, the defense really started to tighten up against the run. But this Colts defense, we knew, right? If you've been paying attention to the channel, we were talking about all offseason, or all training camp, about how we don't have to worry about the defense. We know we can stop the run. It's being able to get to the passer and being able to stop the pass that we were concerned about, right? And now we are once again not only one of the best teams in the NFL stopping the run so far, we're the best team in the NFL against stopping the run. So coming into this game, that bodes very well, right? You have Grover Stewart, who has been absolutely dominant this season. You have DeForest Buckner, who's DeForest Buckner. Like he's great, right? Kwity Paye, one of the best run-stopping edge guys in the NFL. Samson Ebukam has been great against the run in his first couple of games off the edge and doing a good job rushing the passer. So our front is so solid, and then our linebackers, like I have the utmost confidence in our guys this upcoming weekend with the way this game script's supposed to go. Okay, and then you look at our offense against their defense. Okay, it's the Ravens, but I don't believe this is the Ravens of old. Okay, they played the Texans in week 1. Okay, now we also played the Texans in week 2. So if you want to scratch both those games, go ahead, scratch both those games. Okay, but the Bengals are also like the early season Bengals under Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow are usually trash. I expected Baltimore to win that game last week. It's not a surprise. So I don't know if this Baltimore team is just as good as everybody says it is. I think Baltimore, if they can get healthy, very good football team, right? If they can figure out this offense, very good football team. Lamar Jackson was my pick to be the MVP this year, right? I thought OBJ would have a huge year. It's not looking like either of those things are going to happen so far, but I do believe that this is a good Ravens team, but it's not the Ravens teams of old. I don't honestly believe that this is the Ravens defense of old, especially with Odafe Owe not there for that Ravens defense. That is going to have a massive effect on this game. He is so good, right? Now that defense still has Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. Those guys are elite linebackers, okay? If there's any team in the league competing with the Colts for the best linebacker group in the NFL, it is the Ravens, right? The 49ers are there because they have Fred Warner, but the Ravens linebackers are crazy. I like them all. They're very good. And that's just, how the Ravens do business. Their front seven's always pretty good. So not having Odafe Owe there who can edge rush, it's going to be nice, as a Colts fan to not have him in the game. Okay, and at the end of the day, I think that after rewatching the tape from the past 2 games, right? I've rewatched every play from the past 2 games. And with this Shane Steichen offense, man, we saw it work in Philly. We've seen it work the last couple of weeks. Well, really just last week. Deion Jackson couldn't hit a hole. Now that's why he's released. What we saw last week with the holes that were open up, with the creativity of the run game, I really believe that we have a strong advantage coming into this game. And I think we're going to be able to take advantage of the matchups coming into this game. There are going to be holes there. We're going to see Zach Moss hit those holes. We're going to see Trey Sermon hit those holes. I really think that Trey Sermon being elevated is going to have a massive impact on the game. Right. I would not be surprised if we saw Trey Sermon anytime touchdown. Okay. Zach Moss, anytime touchdown. I like both of them. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts in this game get down to the goal line and decide that they want to put Quentin Nelson at fullback and let Quentin Nelson get a touchdown, right? Put Hambright in at guard real quick and put Quentin Nelson at fullback. Let Quentin Nelson get a touchdown. That's the kind of game I'm expecting, man. I expect there to be a total of 40 passes at most, right? And the team that's going to be passing is the one that's down at the end of the game, having to pass the ball to try to come back. But I just don't think passing the ball is going to work. In the conditions that they're expecting, don't think passing the ball is going to work. So at the end of the day, the only key to victory is really run the football, right? The second one, now, listen, number one is always turnovers. You can't turn the ball over, right? Can't fumble it, which is going to be very important this week. That's probably a big reason Deion Jackson got let go. You can't fumble twice, right? Especially when you're playing in a dome. Fumble twice in one game, that's a bad deal. Can't take that guy into rainy conditions, right? No telling how much he'll fumble. So, gonna need to take care of the ball. The team that takes care of the ball is probably the team that's gonna win this game, right? In third downs, whoever converts the most third downs probably going to win this game. It's what pretty much every game comes down to is turnovers, third downs. But whoever converts or whoever can run the ball is going to be able to convert those third downs. So that's what we're looking for in this game. Might not be a whole lot of touchdowns. Definitely take the under for this game if you're going to be betting. This isn't betting advice, and I'm not responsible for your decisions. That's just what I would do, would be taking the under for this game. But at the end of the day, honestly, I'll flash this graphic up here. We did the same thing for the Jaguars game. They're all counting us out, man. Everybody's counting us out. Nobody thinks we can win this game. Like, I legit haven't seen any NFL analyst anywhere say that we could win this game, right? I saw Pat McAfee, AJ Hawk, and Shane Gillis on the Pat McAfee show all pick the Colts to cover the 8-point spread, but nobody's picking the Colts to win this game, but I am. I think we're the better team coming in, right? I think we're better than people give us credit for. And I honestly think that the weather being the way it is going to benefit us. I think the offense is continuing to get better. I think having Trey Sermon there is going to, again, have a massive impact. I think the fact that the Ravens don't have their top two running backs now is going to have a massive impact on this game. So all in all, at the end of the day, I am going to pick the Colts to win this game. I think we're going to win this game 20-16. Okay, it's going to be a close game, but at the end of the day, the Colts defense is what's going to help win this game, right? Holding the Ravens to just one touchdown and 3 field goals, right? They're going to be able to move the ball. Again, they can run the ball. They have Lamar Jackson. That opens things up. They're going to be able to move the ball, right? Zay Flowers, since they can't pass the ball, they're probably going to manufacture touches for Zay Flowers to get him the ball quickly. I could see him ending up with 3, 4, 5 rushes in this game, little jet sweep type deals in this game. But at the end of the day, the Colts defense bows up when it needs to, and they hold them to, again, 1 touchdown, 3 field goals. So that's my prediction for this game. I'd love to know what your prediction for this game is and your keys to victory. You let me know down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Okay, and if you've stuck around, just know that there's still about 85% of the people that return to watch content on this channel that aren't subscribed. And if you're one of those people, please hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. I really can't tell you guys how much I appreciate having your support through the NFL season. And don't forget that we will be live during the game tomorrow for a bit of a, watch party play-by-play. And so please come hang out tomorrow. We had more people in there last week than the first week. Hoping we have some more people in there this upcoming week. I love chit-chatting with you guys. And it's honestly more fun for me to be able to have you guys to talk to, right? Instead of just doing the play-by-play the entire time and trying to do that. So please come hang out tomorrow while we're live during the game. And enjoy the rest of your Saturday, especially if you're a college football fan. There's some good games happening today. So enjoy the day. And as always, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. and go Colts.